How's it going, everybody? Thanks for joining me once again, ladies and gentlemen. I am excited to show you some records tonight. I've been drinking Thai tea and I'm feeling fucking wily. It's also got wings. Have you ever had this Thai tea stuff? It's fucking delicious. So I decided to show off some vinyl records today, just for the fuck of it. Also, please excuse me, I just got my ears lowered and I look like a 10-year-old boy that beats up girls that he likes because he has weird intimacy issues. Anyways, which I don't, but it's just the hair. We're listening to Satanic Goat Cult. This is sort of an... I'm kind of not used to showing LPs here. What's the right distance? I don't know. We'll see here. We'll give this a trial run. So yeah, this is an LP on Iron Bonehead, hand numbered, limited to 500 copies. Total goat worship. I don't know, it's just something dumb I like to throw on every once in a while. Comes with a nice insert. It's just black vinyl. Got some lyrics on there. Yeah, it's just basically childish goat metal, kind of Beharit worship kind of stuff. I've been a fan of these guys for a really long time, and back, if you remember, something called Audio Galaxy. It was a way to download MP3s back when Napster first hit the fan. And I remember finding Satanic Goat, as they were previously called, on Audio Galaxy, and they were fucking amazing, and we started writing to them. And we became fast friends with them back in the day, and we wound up... also, we were friends with this other band from Alaska called Old Goat. And the lead singer of Old Goat was an artist. And one time we just said, hey, we need some artwork for a bunch of shirts, records, whatever and stuff. Would you just draw us a bunch of fucking evil, nasty stuff? We love your artwork so much. And so he sent us a shit ton of stuff like this. And Satanic wound up using as much of his artwork as they could on all of their albums. So Satanic did, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 releases after changing the name from Satanic Goat to Satanic. And most of them look like this. I think it works really well for their cover art. But so just a cool little factoid if you're a fan of Satanic. These covers were drawn by a guy named Jacob from Old Goat, which is an awesome band from Alaska. So that's what we're listening to. This over here. I just got some random stuff, some highlights I thought I could talk about. Stuff I'm happy to have, stuff you might not know about. So let's get started. The first one I've got here is Sorton's Van Vid. This band, shit, I don't know where they're from. I'm not even gonna guess. I do that too often, and I find that I'm wrong, and I get pissed off. But this is an amazing compendium, the compilation they put out years after all this stuff came out. So Sorton had maybe 2 full lengths and a couple of 7 inches demo, something like that. And this is everything. So it's really hard to find all that rare stuff that was super limited back in the day, but it's easy to find this or on CD or LP. So it's a double LP. I believe it only came in black vinyl. Blut and Ison did it as a split with Blasting Black Semtex Attack, I want to say. There's a disclose. I'm not used to showing vinyl on here like you guys are, so I gotta figure out how to do all that. But yeah, so like, if you're into, I don't know, Iltjarn, super nasty and just primitive kind of stuff, I definitely recommend Sorton. Here's one of the album covers from the album Sar. Really cool stuff. I can't recommend it enough. I know they're from Europe somewhere, maybe Sweden, but I don't know. I probably fucking that up. But it's got cool artwork in it. I remember discovering this band on mp3.com back in forever ago. My buddy Ron found them and said, "Hey dude, you should check this out." Blew my fucking mind. The stuff is so primitive for its time. I'm surprised a lot more people will cite this as an influence, but it's pretty underground. Alright, let's get this put back together. There we go. Next, I've got Sons of Chrome. I'm actually wearing their shirt. Pretty big fan. Funny thing, the way I discovered this band, I downloaded some album thinking it was something else a couple of years ago, and it was around when this came out, and I really liked it, but it wasn't adding up. As I was first listening to it, I was like, this doesn't sound like what I thought I was downloading. So anyway, I finally realized that something just wasn't clicking. This isn't what I thought it was. And so I did some looking around. I looked at the files on my computer. Nothing looked right. I didn't think, it just wasn't what I thought it was. So I guess, nothing was labeled correctly in the MP3s that I had downloaded. It's got a cool vault unit on the backside of it. So, when you're in that situation, you're like, fuck, this is amazing, but I don't know what it is, and I don't know how to find out what it is. Plus, it's black metal, so it's like really hard to decipher the fucking lyrics, as you would well know. But I found a line of lyrics that I could decipher, and I went ahead and Googled it to the best of my ability, and I did find that it was Sons of Chrome. And I fucking immediately bought it. This stuff is so fucking good. I gotta say, it's like, maybe if Bathory had gone with the Blood on Ice sort of theme. Not that they didn't all that much, but like this sounds a lot like Bathory's Blood on Ice. Only a little more modern. And a little, I don't know, I'd say the songwriting, I think, on this is just really mature. And this is the debut album of this band. They're from Finland, by the way. So I kind of feel like this works well as a tribute to Bathory band. They're kind of unapologetically sounding like Bathory. A lot of people who I've talked to and suggested this to them, they're like, yeah, it's kind of good, but the vocals, and you're right, the clean vocals on this, they are a little sour. It sounds like the singer is maybe a little bit tone deaf, or maybe he was kind of nervous in the studio or something like that, but that's nothing different than Bathory, in my opinion. I thought Bathory's clean vocals were always just like a tinge off, and it doesn't really bother me that much, but the songwriting on this album is so fucking good, you can totally overlook it. Overlook the vocals for the songwriting on this. Totally diverse instrumentation. I can't recommend this band enough. Killer artwork on here too. Oh, shit. Here we have Mayhem's Wolflair Abyss. This is probably one of the last things that I liked from Mayhem. But the only reason I bought this really was because I was in line at the autograph stand to see Mayhem, and I didn't have anything to have him sign. So I went over to this distro table across the way from where Mayhem was signing autographs. And you'll see there's Maniac, Hellhammer, Necro Butcher, and can't remember what his band name is, but Rune Eriksson from Au Noir. So I went across the way, and I knew that he had this LP in the box, and I had passed on it earlier in the day. I decided, I just need to have something for Mayhem to sign. I'm just going to go over there and pick up that Wolflair Abyss LP and have him sign that. So I went over there, and there's this guy looking through all the LPs, and I'm just standing right over his shoulder like, don't fucking buy it, don't fucking buy it. And so I look up at the guy running the distro, and he's like hoping that the guy doesn't buy it, because I know he knows that I want it. He knows that I want. He picks up this LP, starts kind of going, kicking the tires on it, looking it over, and then he passes on it. So I'm like, yes! So I picked it up, took it across the way, had Mayhem sign it. This is in 1998 that I had them sign this when they played in Milwaukee at Metal Fest. I'm not really big on signatures. I kind of don't like annoying people by my presence in that way, and I don't want to come off like a big fanboy of anybody. So I don't necessarily go for autographs all that much. I have some pretty cool ones that you'll see over the time I go through my CDs mostly. Anyway, so the next one I've got here is Necros Christos, Triune Imperator Rights. This is maybe 2 full lengths ago for them. And you know, I really prefer the CD artwork of this album to the LP. This white stuff, is that an accident? I don't know. I just never really cared for it. But this is a killer death metal record. 2 LPs. Just black vinyl. Nothing too fancy there. I believe there's a poster with it. Yeah, the poster, and actually there's what the hell is it? The big booklet too. There's a poster. I think this is wound up being the cover to the EP that came out after this, maybe? I'm not sure. Yeah, nice glossy booklet. Maybe they just didn't do it in black because they wanted to save money on ink. It would have been black every fucking page. But yeah, this is a killer fucking album. Great band. I kind of feel like they're not as good as they were back around this period, and even before this album. Their material is really great. The split with Brave Miasma, I think it is. It's good stuff. It's not often you hear a death metal band that has good songs that you can kind of sing along to. And to me, this band is super memorable in that way. I do just kind of wish this album had fewer intros. Between every song, there's a fucking intro on it. Then after a while, it just gets kind of annoying. Just kind of like Asheron's Rites of the Black Mass. They have this little like 20-second satanic prayer passages going through them. And I don't know, the appeal wears off after a couple of times, if you ask me. Here, I'll put these together later so I'm not wasting your damn time. Next, oh man. Oh man. This is Obsequiai's Raya of Vernal Tombs. Just look at that. Just get a good, nice look at that. Pretty cover. Look at that castle. Castle porn. So, I hope that you have all heard Obsequiai. If not, stop this video. Type in Obsequiai, Obsequiae, in the top of the YouTube browser and listen to this album. Stop watching this. Listen to this right now. Alright? It's amazing. Like medieval black metal, like no one's ever done it before. They get a lot of comparisons to stuff like Ophthalmia, Rotting Christ, even Bathory I've heard, which I don't get. But I don't think it does everyone a disservice to say that this band sounds like something else. It just doesn't. It's just fucking good. They're playing Migration Festival this weekend. Sadly, I'm gonna miss it. This is the most limited version of this, I want to say, in like gold vinyl. Here, check that out. I don't know if you can see that very well. But yeah, this is one of my favorite albums of the last couple of years. Really looking forward to hearing where the band progresses from here. It's really fucking cool to see that they're playing live nowadays. So yeah, top-notch thinking man's black metal. Not a whole lot of that going around these days. There we go. And the main guy in the band, Tanner Anderson, one of my best friends. Love him to death. Can't wait to see him again. So there you go. $20 spin put this out. There was like 3 variants of color on it. I don't know, 200 and 300 or so. This is the gold one. I want to say it's limited to 150 or 100, 200, something like that. It doesn't matter. Amazing record. Get it. Listen to it. Love it. All right, we're going back a couple of years to 2002. This is Deathspell Omega's Manifestations 2002. The reason I really pump this album on people so much, aside from the fact that it's fucking great, is that not a lot of people know that it's out there. You know, a lot of their classics are like Inquisitors of Satan or Battle something or other. Can't remember right now. But this is another proper full length that just for some reason didn't get released until 2002. And it's totally in the same style as Infernal Battles and the other one that I mentioned. Just a really chintzy jacket here. Nothing really special about the LP or the artwork on here. I always find Northern Heritage kind of does like as little as they possibly can get by doing on their vinyl and CD, honestly. So there's not much to look at, but this album is just a fucking great rager. It's super nasty. Let me see here. When was this recorded? Initially intended to appear on a split LP with Cantus Bestiae and on the Crushing the Holy Trinity compilation. It was written shortly after Inquisitors of Satan, which I think was 2000 and shit. I don't really know, but well, 2002, I guess. It's called Manifestation 2002, but I think it wasn't released until say like 2007 or 8 or something like that. So it sat around dormant for a while, and of course, you know, in 2004 they changed their style up a whole lot. And I do like that second era of Deathspell Omega, but this first era is still super primitive. Can't recommend this one enough. I picked this up on a forum for like $35. I thought I was gonna make it through one side. I figured one side of that record and we'd be done. But no, I know how to ramble on. So yeah, Deathspell Omega Manifestations 2002 fucking rules. Alright, so that brings us to, you might not expect me to like this band. This is Dimmu Borgir's Stormblast. Get out of here. This was originally released on Cacophonous in 1996. So this album is 20 years old. And while I kind of like some of the stuff that this band did after this album, this is really where it's at for me. I don't even really care for the For All Tid record, but this record is so well written and orchestrated. I just love it. It's kind of like a winter black metal album. Love the pictures on this. Yeah, they re-recorded this album in 2006 with Hellhammer on drums, and it fucking sucks. This is the version to have if you're gonna have this version. It comes on purple vinyl. Just look at that. Yeah, so if you think you've heard enough all the Dimmu Borgir and they suck shit, but you haven't gone back to the really early stuff, this is where it's at. Stormblast is a great fucking record. It is quite synth laden, but I think that's kind of where a lot of the straightforward Norwegian black metal shines, is its symphonic elements, and the best way to convey that style is through keyboards. Old Man's Child did it, Emperor fucking did it with keyboards, so I don't know why Dimmu Borgir gets so much flack for their early stuff for using so much keyboards. It's nothing new. Fucking Falkenbach uses flutes, and they're amazing. Honestly, I don't know if I can name a bad album with fucking black metal flute on it. Anyway, Cacophonous put this out in 1998, 2 years after it was originally released. Great fucking record. Check out Stormblast. This album is about 2 years old. This is Eternum's Devouring Descent, put out by Blood and Isen, who also put out that Sorton LP, and Iron Bonehead, who also put out the Sadometer LP. It seems like Blood and Isen splits versions of LPs a lot with other labels. But so this is a side project of members of Drowning the Light, a band who I'm still waiting to like. A lot of you guys are just crazy about Drowning the Light, and it seems like they just want to fucking flood the world with their releases, their 7 inches, their demos, and their shirts, and their candles, and shit, and I can't keep up with them. I don't know where to start. They've got a million fucking records. I've gotten some recommendations from friends to check out their stuff, and it kind of mildly interested me. They did put out an album, I think last year, that was pretty good, but it doesn't even fucking touch Eternum. This band fucking rules, and this album blows my mind every time I put it on. This was probably my most listened to album of 2014. Band photos are kind of obscure here, as you know, with these guys. So, you know, they're Australian. It's kind of like pagan metal. But seriously, if you're into Drowning the Light, this, in my opinion, is a lot better. I've heard it compared to Agalloch, which I don't really get, but I don't really like Agalloch all that much, so I don't know if I can say that that's a bad comparison per se. This just stands all on its own, though. I fucking can't recommend this band enough. Eternum's Devouring Descent. It's just real mid-paced, atmospheric, totally atmospheric black metal. Yeah, check that out. Alright, last one for the day. This is an oldie. Originally came out in 96, I think. Immortal's Pure Holocaust. This is the original version, actually 93, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's not a whole lot about this version. You know, back in the 90s when this kind of stuff was coming out, LP wasn't the preferred format, so it seems like labels put a lot more effort into the CD versions than they did the LP. So when you got an LP version of something, you were just getting the bare bones. And not that the CD version had much of anything with it, but there's no insert, no poster. CD or the vinyl is just this and this. Nothing to it, but killer fucking album. One of my favorite bands. It's really sad to see what's gone on with Immortal lately, but I'm pretty excited for them. From the sounds of it, you know, I've done quite a bit of reading. I don't really care for a lot of hype and bickering between bands. You know, usually when there's a lot of mudslinging between bands, I don't pay attention to it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to have another reason to like or dislike somebody. But this is one of my favorite bands. It's not my favorite black metal band. And from what I heard, Abath, who, if you didn't know, on this album, Abath played drums on this album. Eric joined soon after the recording of Pure Holocaust and just took pictures. So there was actually Abath that played drums on this record, according to an interview. Anyways, Abath, in the last few years, as you know, he's been heading Immortal with Demonaz and Horg also kind of at the helm, but to the side. He's been really difficult. They've been trying to get him into rehab. Apparently he's like a heroin addict and an alcoholic or something like that. And I hate that, like, me repeating this is kind of like furthering the Shady Cathy stuff going on. But you know, eventually they tried to kick him out, and they said, you know, if you're not going to go to rehab, we can't continue to work with you, so please just leave. And so what Abath tried to do, was trademark the name Immortal behind the backs of Horg and Demonaz. And I just think that's fucking unforgivable and shitty. So thankfully a lawyer said you can't do that because Demonaz has just as much stake in the name Immortal as you do. And also Horg, I imagine, was probably also some levity to that decision. So Abath had to go solo, and I'm happy to hear Abath is having a lot of success on his own, and Demonaz and Horg now have their own record coming out soon, and I really can't wait to hear that. I think it's going to be a lot different from what their stuff has been. Honestly, I haven't been a fan of Immortal's records all that much since Blizzard Beasts in '98, so I did like the solo Demonaz record quite a bit, and even the Eye record was pretty good. That Abath album, though, can fuck off. Not into it. Anyway, that's enough poo-pooing for today. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, it's just a button right down there. You just gotta click it. It's red. It's just like, it's about this big. It says subscribe on it. You just click it, and you're good. So then When you're bored and you're watching TV, you think, I don't like the show. I should just turn the fucking TV off. Go ahead and turn it off. And go to YouTube, go to your subscriptions, and all the stuff that you already like is right there. I'm there. I'll be there for you. I'll keep making these videos for you as long as you subscribe. Take it easy. Hope you have a good weekend. Bye.